Good evening. Good evening. We are sacrificing production quality for speed to market. Today is March 19th, 2023. Welcome to the Week in Review. And what a week it has been. Let me tell you. So we started this off, I believe it was a bit of a late post Monday morning, and start off by following up on a few phone calls regarding trying to getting a new vehicle, right? So there's that whole rigmarole of, you want to get value out of something, you want to purchase a vehicle. Back in 2015, I believe it was, I got a certified pre-owned X3 BMW with maybe 12,000 miles on it. A $30,000 vehicle seemed like a lot at the time. It's still a lot now, and you're not getting much for $30,000. I shouldn't say that. You're gonna get a decent vehicle for $30,000. As a matter of fact, if you're not a picky asshole, like myself, you probably could get some pretty decent options out there. But we're looking at, we want the curb appeal too. I mean, I don't want to say, broke is a joke. I got nothing going for me. That's not the truth. But at the same time, it's like, you would like things to maybe come with a little less stress, right? A little less stress to accomplish the things that you want to do financially. I'm not trying to roll a brand new Lamborghini off the lot, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to get a certified pre-owned, a 2 or 3 year old SUV with maybe a third row. I don't want to push a minivan. That's all there is to it, and it's like Kanye says, what do you think I rap for? To push a RAV4? It's just like, why do I do all this stuff? I'm not doing all this, work and hustle to not have the spoils of the war, of the game, of the win. So I did realize that motivation, I think it's been very well covered these days, and everybody should know that motivation is one of these things that you pick up at a seminar that lasts a couple days and that then kind of fizzles out and evaporates. And what I'm trying to do here is multifold, and it's probably not even truly fair what I'm trying to do to you as a potential audience member, but I'm trying to create accountability. I'm trying to create a process, a religion, if you will. This is Sunday night. I want to do this every Sunday night. I want to show up sober and clear-headed and ready to kind of lay it all on the line for what that's worth. And then, it's an accountability process for me, right? I'm going to be able to look at this. I don't care if I don't need to look at it. I know what I did and I know what I didn't do. But the fact is, if I show up here and I say, hey there, audience out there who may or may not be listening, who may be watching this sometime in the future, where did this lead? What did it all amount to? Maybe it amounted to nothing. Maybe it amounted to something. Doesn't really matter. What it does is, in the moment, I had a great fucking week. That's what I'm trying to say. I had a really good week because I started off the week by saying, hey, universe, hey, clan, tribe, zeitgeist, group mind, there's a word that's escaping me, but it's basically the collective unconscious or consciousness that we all share. I have this platform. I can speak, and I can then potentially be spoken back to, and I want to always be a better version of myself, and I always want to delve deeper into who I am and what this experience is that we're all sharing together. That being said, one avenue of outlet for me for a long time creatively was stand-up comedy and getting on stage and doing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of open mics leading up to shows, and then performing in front of, well-attended theaters, etc. And I do believe I'll get back to that at some point, but I have other constraints right now, just in time, place, responsibility, family, finances, et cetera, that are just making it not realistic for me to be devoting, 2+ hours to get 5 minutes of stage time at an open mic. I mean, God bless the process, but it's just not something that I think that's something that you're always paying dues. You're never out of the point of paying dues, but so help me God, I've done a lot of those reps, and I don't know if I'm necessarily served by that at this juncture. So, one thing I'm doing is, Sunday nights, stream of consciousness, no judgments, and let it flow right into down the throat of the camera with a lot of love to those receiving me on the other side. And that's something that I was taught in the Thespian Academy of New York City. I'm creating a process. I'm creating my own personal religion of my own art. Would love to make rap lyrics. Would love to make hip hop music. Would love to, devote the time to that. Again, not saying I won't. Not saying I can't. But what I don't want to do is, and if you could look back over the history, I've had these wonderful fits and spurts of explosive creativity that has either then morphed or changed shape or diverted paths or gone in another direction, and it pops up, one place as, being an online spokesperson for MasterCard or doing a Selsun Blue commercial, to an Expedia commercial, to a commercial, et cetera, onward and onward and onward. And you say, oh, how far can I go with this? And then you say, you get bored with it, and you go, yeah, this isn't really where I want to devote my energy to. But I took commercial classes, and I took tons of improv classes because I saw that actually as giving me a return on my time and my investment. Improv being something that at least up until, I don't know, whenever I was doing commercials 10 years ago, up until maybe 2 years ago, improv seems to be a tremendous skill that it serves you as much in life as it does in anything else. But you go into an audition and you're able to not kind of clam up, and if they ask you to do something, they're like, oh, dance like a horrible dad, do a dad dance. You're like, oh, I got this one wired. This one is part of my nervous system, no problem. And you can just kind of get in the moment quicker. But then it pops up maybe as me doing some rap videos, or me doing a one-man show, or me starting a business in the city for the sake of being able to have something stable that's entrepreneurial, that gives me the freedom and creativity to run my own brand, which then eventually frees me up to the point where I can then get back on stage and do stand-up again. So it's like I'm in that cycle and I'm in that process, but I want to have an outlet. And I want to have an outlet that doesn't collapse in on itself. I want to have an outlet that nurtures and fortifies everything else that I'm trying to do. So that is the longest answer, or the longest circular talk that I've ever given on why I'm doing this. And that's why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because it feeds me, it nurtures me, and it accelerates the other things that I'm doing when I'm not doing this on Sunday nights. So Monday followed up on a couple things. But what I realized is this. This is what I mentioned at the end of my last episode, or whatever the fuck these are. I said, I gotta get shit done. I gotta finish. I gotta be the closer. I gotta be the cleaner. I gotta be the completer of what has been begun, because I'm evidently an amazing starter. I can get a lot of shit going, but I don't finish the job. So Finish the job. For God's sakes, just complete it. Get it the fuck done. Right. Yeah. I wrote that. So I had to look and double check what I wrote. Yeah. Get it the fuck done. And okay. So that being said, I realize, okay, what is it that also nurtures and supports and always is a million bonus points, bang for the buck, right? It's always exercise. It's oftentimes getting a good night's sleep, but not always. Not a prerequisite for life every night. But 4 out of 7 nights a week, I'm probably getting a nice, solid 7+ hours of sleep. Not that you care. Who cares? But it was whatever works for you. I don't give a fuck. But the point is, exercise always tons of bonus points. Chug a bunch of water. Wonderful. You can't lose. Journal 3 pages. For me, that is like a straight up, what was it? Was it not Razor Ramon, but it was like Mr. Perfect. He had like, there was like the Diamond Cutter, Diamond Dallas Page. That's what it was. He did the Diamond Cutter. And, it's the Diamond Cutter of moves for me. It's a finishing move. It's a beginning, middle, and ending finishing move. Basically, I say journal 3 pages. Not a page and a half, not 2, and then I get a really great idea, and I'm like, well, this idea is so good, I'm going to go and act on this idea because, hey, this journal is making me take action. No. It needs to be complete the task because, again, it's just like what the sign says. Just complete it. You started it. Just finish it. Just get it done. Just, if you said you're going to journal 3 pages, then journal 3 pages. The action of completing the task is more important than any idea that you could possibly come up with because that's been the pattern. That's what I'm trying to uncover in my life, and that's what I'm trying to improve. It's like when you find the pattern, I am really good at coming up with other ideas to avoid finishing what I'm doing now because guess what? It gets boring and it gets annoying to get to the point where you're like, oh, okay, well, it was really exciting to get this project started, but now that actually we're getting into it, it kind of sucks. And wouldn't it just be so much more fun to just start another project again and we'll finish this one later? No, and you never will. And then you've dragged it out, and now you've got 3 things going and 5 things going. I don't even want to turn the camera around what I'm seeing in front of me here. There are 17 things in front of me right now that all need to be done. I need to figure out how to get this freaking mic working. It's so much cooler than this mic, but this mic apparently is working, so we're not going to complain about it. I've got exercise journals that need to be returned to folks that want to use them. I've got lamps that need to be either sold or thrown away. I've got a generator that I need to rewire so that if the power goes out, I don't have to rewire it in the blackness of a panic during a hurricane to get my power back on. I've got a table full of remote control cars that my kids are taking apart. That's fine. They can have that pending. I've got model rockets that need to be launched that are ready to launch. And I got a bunch of papers on the floor. I mean, it's not terrible, but I'm just saying. It's just that's just what's in front of me here, and this is the cluttered basement, let alone if we go upstairs and walk through the rest of the domicile. Anyway, great. Journal 3 pages. Read a couple chapters in Mark Nepo's book, The Book of Awakening. And the thing is, in that book is interesting. His name is Mark Nepo, but if you read it backwards, it's Open, O-P-E-N, which it's probably not his real name. Nepo is probably not his real name. I'd be surprised if it is. But I guarantee it's a pen name, and he took Open and wrote it backwards. Maybe. So cool. Read a couple chapters in Winning by Tim S. Grover. And, that talk, he's a big one on the finish the job, just get it fucking done. I got some LinkedIn posts. I got some really good LinkedIn posts popping on Tuesday. I wrote this whole LinkedIn post on the saphenous nerve location, distal branch of the saphenous nerve. So when you're doing neuromonitoring, during a spine surgery case. You want to be able to monitor the health of the femoral nerve, which is a major nerve that basically innervates your leg, that comes out of the lumbar plexus around L4-5. And in that plexus, it's being innervated. What? Why did that turn off? I didn't like that. This turned off momentarily. So help me God, if this audio is fucked up, I'm gonna fucking kill you and everything. Don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me. I'll have to check that. Look, if it's all lost, I don't care. Whatever, fine. Doesn't matter. The purpose is being served, I suppose. But I don't like that. Anyway, distal branch of the femoral nerve is the saphenous nerve. It runs subcutaneous, meaning beneath the skin, kind of beneath the surface, down. So from your lumbar plexus, through your leg, over your quadricep, inside deep to the quadricep, then pops out and runs around medially on the outside of the knee, and then kind of runs down the the medial portion of your shin bone on the inside of your leg. It runs right along on the inside of your shin bone. And so the question is, if I'm trying to monitor this nerve and it runs close to your shin bone, but it's not like glued to the shin bone, as the diameter of your leg increases, does the distance of the saphenous nerve from the bone increase? I didn't get any specific feedback. I have to go back to LinkedIn and check it out, but my argument would be that it does. So if you've got a leg like this that's got a bone running through it and a nerve that usually runs close to the bone, the more you volumize the soft tissue, muscle, tendons, ligaments, fat, blood vessels, etc., as that all volumizes, you can't help but having that nerve kind of migrate further and further away from the shin bone. So if your tibia is the landmark that you're using, like finding the edge of the tibia to then find where your saphenous nerve runs, then if it's a larger person, you can find that landmark, but then you're gonna have to guesstimate: is it right along the shin, or is it further out by 10 to 15 or 20 millimeters? I mean, 10 millimeters is significant. Like, that's, it's a centimeter difference from where you potentially would be on a thin, skinny patient. Like on me, I have like peg legs, so like it would be right there along the bone. But on somebody that's larger, I think it's gonna be tougher to find. And I think anybody that's experiencing what I'm talking about would probably corroborate that, but I would love to hear your opinion if you know anything about average nerve location, proximity to the tibial bone, based on the size of the patient's leg diameter, lower leg diameter. Yeah, awesome. Journaling, finishing chapters in books that I'm reading, posting on LinkedIn things that I've studied, hitting up the cold plunge while it's still cold outside and I don't have to figure out how to get ice into this thing, or buy some sort of freezer from Costco and then have that running in some kind of bizarre fashion where, how you keep the water clean. But cold plunge, everybody's talking about it. I need pain in some in my life to keep me sane. Why are you blinking? I'm gonna wrap this up because it's fucking bugging me. But I think we've made some points here tonight, and we'll find out why you're blinking, you piece OS. But look, it's a lot of follow-up, and it's a lot of completion, and then it's also getting creative. I shot 8 custom marketing videos that I sent out to prospects, to clients that I'm prospecting, and people that I'm trying to make sales to. And so by doing the journaling, by doing the cold plunging, by completing the things that I said I was going to do, that's on the other side of that. That's where it seems that the true excitement is going to lie. And that's why you can say, to bring it back to what I start off with, fuck motivation. You can't buy it or bottle it. You've got to find your own process, and that's what my religion is. Something that is new, that is happening now, that's been a continuation of what I've been doing for over 20 years, and that is training, martial arts, mind-body connection, challenging yourself mentally, physically, giving yourself the time to rest, having fun, being well-rounded, having lots of pursuits. But don't take down your sign. Don't take down your shingle. If you establish yourself to the point where you put that shingle up and you became an entrepreneur, or you became something that you wanted to become, skateboarding is a perfect example. We always said, skate or die. That was the motto of the skater. You were going to never quit skating. That's what you thought when you were a teenager and you were kicking that board around. You would never quit skating. Never. Well, I do have a skateboard, and I did not land a kickflip this weekend, but I think I landed a heel flip and a couple ollies. And the fact of the matter is that it's still there. The dream is alive. Don't give up on it. I put up the atomic symbol, the atomic sign that I had in 57th Street up in my garage gym. So there. That's what I'm saying. Don't take down the shingle. Put it back up. And make that your trophy. Make that your souvenir, right? You collected these things in your path, and if they're valuable to you, or you felt like you really had to strive to earn it, and it's something that you hold as part of your identity, then question it before you let it go. And if it's not the right thing, then yeah, let it go. But if it is, and it's something that you love, then fight for it. All right? Do that. Do that for me. All right?